Welcome to Miss Well Energetic Tutorials. I am your host, Brianne Gittins. Welcome to today's video. We're going to talk about being priced out of adulthood. And that's a big topic. Saying that is heavy on the chest. I feel like there's a lot going on. And let's discuss it. We need to get into this topic because there are so many Millennials, Gen Z, who are being priced out of adulthood, and the milestones, the rite of passages, they're just not what they used to be, and we don't have them anymore. The old playbook doesn't work, and we're creating our new playbook, and the new playbook is... Let's talk about it. Let's get into our topics. We'll see if we can find a new playbook at the end of this. Okay. The reality is, today's world is on fire. We have inflation, Trump's tariffs, we have greed, corporate greed. We have so many things going on that the average person cannot get ahead. If you ain't making millions of dollars, you ain't getting ahead at this point. They were saying that you need over $500,000 to feel happy financially. A lot of people are not going to make $500,000. It's just not realistic. So, the world we live in, wages are still low, and some people have to put survival over passion. Okay, let's start with number one. Number one is the cost of living. The cost of living has gone up from a decade ago, from now. So that's a long time. Minimum wage was $11 less than a decade ago. Next year, it'll be a decade. Yeah, that's crazy. So right now, minimum wage is $17.20. Yeah, $17.20. That's minimum wage now. And a lot of employees are starting off at that, or they have to pay them $18 an hour or $19 an hour. It is hard to find a $20 an hour job. You have to be a specialist at this point to get that. So there's... Low wages plays a factor in cost of living, and how you can afford things is really hard in today's economy. Everything costs more. The things you bought 5 years ago, it costs more today. And a lot of corporations are changing the ingredients on certain things and downsizing their products to keep profits up and make more money in the process, because you're getting less. Less you get, more you're gonna have to buy. And it's crazy how these corporations are getting away with it. And the biggest issue is the housing crisis. We do have a housing crisis here in Canada. I think everywhere has one. To get affordable housing feels... it's out of touch. It's out of reach. You can't get to it. Affordable housing is always going to be a big topic because this doesn't take, 4 years. It's going to take decades to build that infrastructure. There's so much red tape for them to build it. And I feel like the world we live in, everything is just talk, and action is such a slow process. So a lot of people are struggling to find a home. Homes are not easy to come by. And it's crazy. I find it crazy how the world we live in is hurting young people. If you can't afford to move out, you're going to be stuck where you are. And you feel hopeless because there's no advancement in your life. So the cost of living and what's going on in society is a lot. Let's talk about groceries now. Groceries are 10 times expensive. I remember going to Walmart when I was working. I was working a full-time job. I needed to get food every week, 5 days a week to eat. My heart would drop because I would only buy like food just for lunch for myself, and that was it. Why was my bill almost $100? 100 and maybe like 20. I'm like, what? It was crazy. I was going mental because that's a lot of money I'm spending on going to work and all this stuff. I'm like, and today it has doubled. Groceries are so expensive. People cannot afford to pay the rent and eat groceries. And we need both. You need food and you also need a house to live in. And you can't afford both. Government policies is definitely not helping people in the way that people need it. There's a lot of red tape, and that red tape does hurt people, and the only way to make it is to have money, and you have to budget your money, but you can't budget your way out of poverty. Bro. You cannot budget your way out of being a low income holder. You can't. It's not possible to budget your way out. We live in a world where less money you have, less opportunity you have. So the cost of living does play a part in that. Number 2 is unable to buy a house and move out. That is like the number one thing that young people are being priced out of, is buying a house or moving out, because moving out costs a lot of money. You need last month's rent, and if your rent is like $2,500, you need like up to $4,000. I'm like bare minimum you might need 6,000. I have no idea. I've never hit that milestone, so I do not know. I live at home still, and I'm like, I cannot see a way of me moving out. I'm having a hard time finding a good, stable job to get me out of my situation, and I can't get one. So the aspiration for a lot of young people are going to be stay at home, save as much money as I can, maybe travel, save, live, and then maybe down the road, maybe like in my late 30s or 40s-ish, I could maybe buy something. And you're like, oh, my youth is all gone. But realistically, the new person to, it says a statistic, they're saying that the next person to buy a starter home would be, starter homes don't exist anymore, actually. So the next person to buy a house is 40 and up. That's crazy. Yeah. Less than 20 years ago, it was like 20-somethings-year-old buying houses. Now, 20-something-year-olds cannot afford to buy houses. It's taking people longer to get started, and that is going to cause a lot of people to not advance. Number 3 is low wages. This is something that has not changed in decades. Minimum wage has gone up. Yes, we had some advancements, but you notice that a lot of the wages are stagnant. It has not caught up with inflation at all. And they say, oh, we're going to catch up to it. No, we're not going to. Corporations don't want to pay you more. They want to cut costs to keep profits up. It's all about keeping profits up. It's not about paying your employees more money so they could work. It's all about cutting, being profitable, be more efficient, make more money, keep the quota up, 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 up. Low wages, it hurts people. It keeps you in, aka, this must be controversial, the poorhouse. It does. Like, you can't advance when you have to focus on survival, and survival is almost like 65. I think it was like 65 or maybe 50. There's so many statistics out there of people living paycheck to paycheck, and I think that it's very high now. A lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. I personally feel like I would say half of Canadians are living paycheck to paycheck, because there's a lot of people that are well off. They come from generational wealth, or they have broken to high paying fields, and it pays more than enough for them to survive and live. So there's always going to be sections, you know. There is I call it working poor, and then you have middle class, and then you have I don't even know what's after middle class. I've been in middle class all my life, so like working middle class. Like, what is higher up? Like, rich? Like, do we know? Never experienced it, so we don't know. There is a hierarchy, and that's the world we live in, and these wages are keeping people stagnant. And it's kind of sad. We need advancement. We need to go up, but this is, I wouldn't say a game, but it is, it's something you have to do for yourself to achieve financial freedom. You can't budge your way out of the poorhouse. It's impossible, really, in today's society. You would have to like sacrifice, and life is too short to make like sacrifices. You know, you want to be that. I don't think it's a good idea to be that person who eats ramen for 2 years to save money. You also have to live, because if it's gonna take you 10 years to achieve some financial goals that you want, I'm like, you also have to live. So low wages will always be there, but you only have one life to live. Make the right choice for yourself. Always do a financial breakdown before making any drastic moves, because you need to know how much money you're spending, how much money you need. It's very important to pay your bills. Okay, so let's get into number 4. Number 4 is the lack of opportunity for fresh out of college graduates. You just got out of college and you're ready to work, you're ready to enter the workforce, and they don't want you. The employers don't want you. Employers want skilled workers. It is proven. They want people with experience. They do not want somebody with college education at this point. And this is, from me personally, to telling you, college, what you learn in college doesn't make you career ready or workplace ready. It doesn't. And I knew that leaving college. Like, I'm not going to be one of the people who have a job lined up. Like, I was in an employment line. I have to, like, figure it out. I'm 4 years post-grad, and I'm nowhere. I've done advancement. I've done personal advancement, but to get to that finish line, I'm struggling with it. They don't want to give me the opportunity at this point. And I'm like, I have to put on my big girl hat on, my girl pants on, and I have to focus on my survival now. My survival is impacted now, and I have to focus on that. Yeah, a lot of companies don't want to give you the opportunity to grow. Yeah, they don't. If you're doing it from the traditional pipeline of applying, when you go to Indeed or any ZipRecruiters, LinkedIn, if you're applying through the pipeline, it's hard. If you know somebody, you network, and they can help you get a job, that's it now. That is the new getting a job. You have to get out of your comfort zone to get a job today. You can't just get a job through the pipeline anymore. You have to, it's 1 in a million luck at this point. Yeah, you could get the interview, but to get to the finish line, it's a bit difficult. Because that rejection's always there. And I wish there was more opportunity, but corporations, hiring managers, they want skilled workers. And you're not a skilled worker yet. You need to gain that experience. And it puts you down the line. I'm hearing and seeing 18-year-olds who have never worked before. I've never had a job before. Never done this before. Because, like, you cannot get a job through... You can't even get the basic level... And level entry doesn't exist anymore. Let's not talk about it. It doesn't. It doesn't exist. Let's talk about... No, I wouldn't say level entry. Starter... Let's say starter positions. Like retail... fast food joints. Like stuff like that. People are making that careers now. Yeah, you notice. Have you noticed that people are making that careers now? So they're staying at those jobs. Because a lot of people cannot get advancements or get the job they want in today's society. You can, really. It really depends on your circumstances. Circumstances plays a factor in everything, but even if you're like an 18-year-old, you want to get your first job, you're competing with tens of thousands to 3,000s to 16,000 to 18,000 to 100,000 people at this point. That's how it feels like. You compete with so many people to get a job, and there's no guarantee you get the job. Yeah. It's a lot. I don't want to be Debbie Downer when it comes to like the workforce and everything, but like the lack of opportunity and people not giving you a chance is hard. It is very hard. That's why everybody is like getting to trades or doing social media. It's kind of the only pipeline at this point. Because you want something guaranteed. You don't want to be like me personally, floating. I've been floating for the last 2 years, trying to find the right gig. And now I'm getting older and I'm like, there's some milestones I do want to hit. And I'm going to have to make a sacrifice. Don't know what it is, but I'll let you know one day. Okay, number 5 is the Canadian dream is dead. It is. They call it the American dream, but I just said Canadian dream or Canadian promise, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's dead. It's dead. Like hard work doesn't equal success anymore. It really doesn't. It doesn't. I worked hard. I've grinded. I'm worse off. I don't know. Like it's hard. The Canadian dream, we're taking off of the American dream, is to work hard, get that house, get that car, get married, have kids, work in a job, get that advancement, travel, do all that stuff. Live the life you want to live. It is slipping away because you have to make sacrifices today and you have to lose something to get something in today's economy, today's world we live in, and a lot of people are losing. Yeah. You're losing something. And the dream that your hard work will achieve something, it will happen. You just don't know how it'll happen. You don't know what it looks like anymore because you have a picture of what you want, but the reality is totally different in today's world. I don't think that it's easy to achieve those things. It takes a lot of work. And you really gotta put yourself out there, out there, out there, out there. You have to be out there, out there, out there, like 100 times over, out there, out there, out there, to achieve it. You really do. And I'm like, what does that look like? There's no recipe. There's no manual to it. There's no guide really to it. It's just, you have to make it happen for yourself. And I do believe the Canadian dream is dead. I feel like today you have to find a way to survive, to work, to be happy with yourself. And it takes time. But advancement will happen for you. You never know when it's going to happen. Okay, so number 6 is a romance like the movies. I feel like dating today sucks. It really does. Why does it suck? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are on the dating apps. I keep hearing this, and I do believe this statement that you can be on the dating apps. You could be on your phone, and you could keep swiping and swiping and swiping because there's always better out there. And you keep swiping, you keep swiping, swiping and swiping and swiping and swiping, but you never meet anybody because you feel like there's always somebody out there that's better. And it's a constant thing. And I totally understand why a lot of people are never been in relationships like me. I've never been in a romantic relationship. Have I put energy into it? Just when I turned 28, I did. I was like, okay. I was getting older, advancements, I wasn't living my old life anymore. I was living a brand new life. I was a new person. I wanted to do all these things. I was like, you know what? I want to put myself out there. I want to see what it is. And I did look on the other side. And I could tell you, dating was painful. And it wasn't like the movies. It really wasn't. It was a magical time, but also was the most painful time. Being thrown out, I don't know, being dumped by text is the worst feeling. But it also helped me. I think the bright side is, I would say help me just not care anymore. If you text me, I don't care. I'll text you and I'm like, I will text you back and I'm like, I don't care if you text me back. I'm not bothered by it. I'm not waiting for your text. I'm just gonna do my own thing. So I've been there, done that. I'm over it. So I think a lot of people want that romance, and we all know being a millennial, being a Gen Z, it's not easy to find the romance, to find your person. Your person is maybe 1,000 frogs away. I don't know. It's you have to put so much work into it. And my problem with that is things do fizzle out with people, and then you have to start over again. And you need to put yourself out there, and then you hit roadblocks, and you gotta put yourself out there, and you hit more roadblocks, then it fizzles out, then you get ghosted, then you get ghosted, then you get ghosted, then you get submarined. The person's interested, they come back, they're interested, they come back, and then you're like, bye! Yeah. I'd rather just be ghosted than submarined. At this point, I'm like, why are you calling? Why are you texting me back? You gave me the ick, and I can't look back. I feel like it's crazy. Romance is something you have to put a lot of attention into. Be more selective of who you entertain. Be intentional about it. Find someone that someone said look for character traits than attractiveness. I heard that. I was like, I think being attractive is very important, but I will try to put attractiveness and characteristics at the same level. Because I can't, you need both. But attractiveness is a bit more important. Because, like, you want to be attracted to the person. You don't want to be with somebody you're just not attracted to. And, yeah. Okay. Romance. I'll put that aside. Number 7 is saving money. Yeah. I feel like this is a big one. Because I keep talking about survival. Survival is food, rent, essentials, repeat. Bills, cell phone, internet, subscriptions. Everything is subscription based, so you may have multiple subscriptions. You might have multiple this, multiple that. It's important, very, very important, to... Oh my God, what was I saying? I love you guys. I'm bad. Scratch that. I was just thinking about what can I say to you guys about saving money, and we are being priced out of saving money because survival and the cost of living is so high, and you want to save money, but you are always nitpicking at the money that you have, and you can't grow because you don't have the freedom to do it. A lot of people don't have the freedom. A lot of people started younger, you know. I started saving when I was 16, or I started saving when I was 18, and I was building and building and building because I had a situation or my circumstances allowed me to do that. My parents allowed me to do that, or I didn't have to pay rent, or everybody has different circumstances on how they could get to the savings point. But majority of people have to put their survival over savings. A lot of people live paycheck to paycheck. Money is so hard to save when you have to survive and you don't have that opportunity to grow your bank accounts. Because you may be on your own. You may have to pay rent. And rent's a big chunk of your monthly income. So, we are being priced out of savings. Because we are going to be the generation that puts everything on credit cards, afterpays, karmas, and all that stuff. We're going to be in high debt because we're not able to save like we want to save. We don't have the freedom, the opportunity to do that. So we are going to be taking credit cards out. We are going to be taking karmas, affirms, afterpay. We're going to take that stuff out because we also want to live. And we'll pay it down when we have the money. Because we're going to continue to work. Cash flow's coming in, but like that savings account will not be building because you have to put your survival first. And sometimes we overdo it and we put our money in our leisure, which is maybe going to a concert, going to the movies, shopping. Like, we put a lot of money into that, and we also have to live. But we are being priced out of savings because you can finance anything as long as you have cash flow coming in, or you could finance it and not have money coming in and go into debt. So saving money, your circumstances really depend on it. And if you do have the circumstance where you are allowed to do it, congratulations, you won. Because you're starting off with a great start. That is perfect. Number 8, I feel like we're being priced out of living the life you want right now. We are. I can't live the life I want right now. I can't even fund it. We cannot fund the life we want because we're always focusing on something else. Survival. Survival always comes first. Your survival list is different than mine. My survival list is getting a new job, working on that savings, living my life, investing in me. There's so much things I want to do, but I'm being priced out of it. You're being priced out. You cannot afford to live the life you want at all. You can't. You're gonna have to make adjustments. You're gonna have to alter it. You're gonna have to find a way to fund some aspects of it, and some aspects you're gonna have to let go. There are so many things that you could do at home. You don't have to pay for certain services. You could do them at home. Create like a very home-based lifestyle, because your home base is everything. If you're paying all this money on rent or you live at home, your home base is your everything. It's your sanctuary and something you should be investing in. I'm not going to get a lot into that because I feel like living your life is so open, but we are being priced out of it. You know, if your ticket cost, if you wanted to go somewhere and the ticket 10 times more money and it's always changing, you're being priced out of it. This economy is being priced out of adulthood. So, living the life you want right now, it takes time. You might get to live it in your 30s. You might get to live in your 40s. You might get to live in your 50s. It might take you to 60 to live that life. But it's all about making those small steps to get there. Okay, so that's all I have to say. How do you feel about that? Write your comments down below. Like, do you feel like you're being priced out? I feel like I'm being priced out of adulthood. Milestones are non-existent in my mind anymore. Like, I want to live, I want to grow, I want to prosper. So, thank you for watching this video. And that's all I have for you guys today. I feel like this video is so long already, and I feel like we covered everything because we are being priced out of adulthood. And it is scary that 65% of Gen Z parents are helping their children financially. And I think it was like 50% from millennials. Parents are helping their children out. And that means a lot of people are making sacrifices. And if you're making those kind of sacrifices, it just proves that we're being priced out. And you're going to need help. And that help does hurt your parents because your parents are losing money financially. And wages are low still. And recouping money, it's not the same price today. So you have to make more money to recoup that money back. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. I hope this, I really wish that there was like sunshines and rainbows, but you know, you have to hack the system for yourself. So hack the system and live your life. Bye.